Could you turn your microphone on with the button there and then identify yourself? Thank you.
And my name is Camille. Mr. Chair, Representative?
Yes. Thank you, first of all, for your testimony. I really appreciate it. Two questions, if I may. First, if I understand right, when you transitioned, you didn't have a lot of support. People didn't understand you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you ask the question again?
Did people understand, family members understand you when you decided to transition?
They were supportive.
Okay. And then now that you detransitioned, did they support you to detransition?
They did support me, yes.
Okay. And how did you find healing with your detransition?
So, I actually developed all these health complications after the surgery, and so then I ended up, after my doctors became dismissive, I had to take my physical health into my own hands. And so the first thing I did was that I first saw a naturopath because she was willing to work with me, and she actually did a body work called Bowen. And so then I would do body works, different types of body work, because I was finding that my body was responding very well to that. I also responded very well to PDTR. After that, I looked, after seeing Michaela Peterson respond very well to an all-meat diet. I had been pescatarian for over 10 years at that point, and I noticed that when I started eating meat again, pescatarian meaning that fish was the only meat I was eating. So after eating meat again, I noticed that there was an improvement, so then I further worked on my diet, cut out processed foods, and then from there I was a part of a hyperbaric oxygen therapy case study. A hyperbaric oxygen therapy is when you receive pure oxygen in a pressurized environment. I did the case study for my Raynaud's, my anxiety, and for my ADHD. My anxiety went from moderate to mild because I was documenting this daily, and then my ADHD went from 70, I believe it was 72 to 6. Yeah, 72 to 6, and this was through 60 treatments. So I responded much better to these physical treatments, and I was able to connect with my body finally, and better able to manage my emotions.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the committee? Good morning, and please identify yourself again. Thank you. For those online.
My name is Burleigh.
Hi, thank you. Mr. Burleigh, were there any protocols in place when you wanted to detransition?
There was a protocol in place when I detransitioned. So just like transitioning, I needed to see a mental health care person to get letters to take to a surgeon. Excuse me. So in detransitioning, I had to see a mental health care profession to detransition. And the person I saw in Birmingham, Alabama, actually said that I should not have been diagnosed as transgender, that I had a number of childhood issues, and she disagreed with the previous diagnosis, actually gave me a letter to proceed to go with phalloplasty, so that I could get another note from the doctor to be able to change my legal identification on my driver's license and passport.
Follow up, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Can you remind me how old you were when you first decided to transition?
Yes, ma'am. I was around 27 years old, so I started therapy when I was about 21, 22, trying to figure out what was going on. But finally, I threw in my flag and said I need to live, I need to survive. So the therapist gave me a letter at 27 to start hormone therapy. I was on hormone therapy for about 3 years, And then in my early 30s, I had bottom surgery and other feminization surgeries.
Follow up again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry. I have it here. Oh. I'm going back to now the detransitioning. Did you have support from family, society, medical professions when you decided to detransition? Or can you just tell us some of your experience with that, please?
Yes, ma'am, I sure can. In transitioning, I met with a lot of opposition, difficulties. I got laid off of my job. But when I detransitioned from female to male, I was actually working at NASA in Huntsville, Alabama. I had a significant amount of support from the medical community, my coworkers, the people around me in detransitioning, and my church.
Thank you, I appreciate it.